Hey there guys, welcome back to a new video adventure. Today I'm coming back to a place I visited recently with my daughter Lily, where we were discovering, documenting, and learning about the old Lehigh and Susquehanna Railway, sections of the track that are still existing, and what appeared to be a small rail yard. In that video there I did come upon a pretty unique culvert that goes under the whole rail yard area, which is for a pretty good distance. And based on the viewer feedback, you guys said you want me to go there again and actually go through it this time, so I did come with some company. Joining me for today is Alan from Revenge the Apocalypse. I do have some lighting, have some other gear, and we are indeed going to go through that culvert if it's not flooded. Landscape is a bit different, it is snow covered, but before we get to that culvert, we're going to return to the area where I found those old building foundations and ruins, poke around there more, see if we find anything else, and then eventually later on make our way over to the culvert. So if you're ready for an adventure, just come along with us. Picking up where we showed last time, this is where the building wall kind of starts or ends. I did have some brickwork on it, and the intriguing thing I found when I was here is right here. There's rails here, right here in the ground, but up ahead there's an open pit, which I don't know, like I said, if it was a service pit or a dump pit, but where I'm walking right now is kind of filled in. It's concrete lined, but it went deeper back in the day. So cars, maybe hopper cars, would have went over this, dumped their material, maybe coal. It could have been an ash pit, could have been a service pit, could have been anything, but it is near the building though. And when I was here, I saw these poles, which are utility poles that do have some cables and conduit connected to them, but I did spot in the distance some other things, so let's check it out. It's part of the wall here, and you can see the moss, the carpet growing on it. Here is a chunk of concrete with some rebar coming out of it. And there is that metal box, which I'm going to try to show you what that is. Right there, it's attached to one of the poles, some type of utility box. There's some braided cable there. So looks like the foundation does continue. I'm going to try to find the other end of it over here, and then we'll see what else we can find. Alright, I did spot something. I have to try to get over to it. Some more poles, a jagged edge of concrete, a big square block, and then this cylindrical type shape right here. So it's almost like a little crescent moon. And there's even more over here too. So strewn about here are all ties, some utility poles, chunks of concrete. But unfortunately it doesn't give us any answers as to its purpose or use back in the day. But I'm going to go over on this little hump on the other side and see what's over there. So I was showing you where we just came from. Over there is the little crescent moon piece of concrete. I am on top of the hillside now, and to my surprise there is more over here. There is a little type of, I don't know if you want to consider that a bridge or a culvert or what, but also some supports here which looks like they could have held a signal tower or maybe even a signal bridge. They do resemble that, maybe even a light tower as well. It's got roots wrapped around it. As you can see, there was types of railing or post here that was torched off. That's intriguing. It's just out here. I wonder if this was inside of a building at one time. There's actually more remnants right there of a building or a wall. There's anchor bolts coming out of concrete. This might be the outskirts of that building, possibly. Where Alan's walking right now, he's actually on a concrete pad. Yeah, this is a concrete base right here. And last time I was here, I didn't even realize this was here because I didn't come back far enough, but now we are discovering even more. All right, the reason we went through that is because of this. This is one of two pipes that we found that are going right into the ground. They are padlocked, just a cap on it, but very similar, I was telling Alan, to the ones that we've seen in Centralia, where they had the boreholes drilled and they use these pipes for readings to get temperature readings from the mine fire. I don't believe that's their use here, but nonetheless they are in the area. As we make our way through, we are finding some more ties back here. There's another concrete foundation, but over here though is a bigger one. I believe it's the one I spotted last time, so I'm glad we came this direction. Make sure too that if you have any idea as to what we're looking at, you have knowledge on it, share it down below in the comment section. Not only myself, but the viewers love to be educated on things that we do come across. And something like this, even though it is cool and amazing, I love to share it with you guys. I unfortunately don't always have the information at hand, but I do learn a lot from you guys, the viewers themselves. So I just want to thank you in advance if you do share anything that you can regarding this location and what we do see in this video or any video. This is a pretty big piece of concrete here. There's actually brick on the bottom. I'm gonna have Alan, can you walk up there? I just want to give a sense of scale. Yeah, so Alan's walking on it just to give a size comparison. If I was to say lengthwise, end to end, probably about 30 feet. Widthwise, I'd say maybe 12 to 15 feet. So whatever it is big and heavy. It is poured concrete and bricks on the bottom. So I'm wondering if maybe this is toppled over. This could have been standing as part of the wall right there, which is the base of the foundation. I'm thinking since there's brick here, that could have been the wall. This may have toppled. That's my assumption. I could be completely off, but with the proximity of the foundation right there, it would make sense. Like most locations though, we have more questions than answers. But regardless, if this area is to never exist in the future, it is at least documented today. But now we're going to head to the culvert, which is the main reason we came back, why I brought Alan with me. So I'll see you over there next. All right, we made it down here to the stream. Culvert is back there, and as you can see, the far one is dry. We could definitely make it through. So what we're going to do though is go top side, go around, and come down the far side there to be able to make our way through it. But I just wanted to come down here for a moment to give you some views of this portion of it and the stream itself, and then we'll head over there, get geared up with some lighting, and head inside. Just spotted a nice chunky piece of coal right here. Give it a wash. All right, you guys ready? Well, once I get down there, I'll be ready. I'm gonna get geared up with my lighting, my headlamp, and in front of you guys on the bottom here is a light panel, so we should be able to light it up nice and bright. And from my understanding, it goes for a good distance to the other end underneath what is essentially an old rail yard here. So although it may not look super exciting down there, just understand that when we're walking down there, we're walking underneath all of this. That's the way we get out right there.
Oh wow.
That's that goes for a long distance. Looks like a basketball in there. Oh wow. So there was a concrete bottom at one point, which got eroded away. And that's actually some pretty deep water. That's about 3 or 4 feet deep. So when we come back out, I may be able to get you guys some underwater footage. I did bring my super long selfie stick with me. And looking where we just were a few minutes ago. All right, looks like Alan's ready, so I guess we should head in. That is filled with water. You can see some of the stalactites coming through. And there is metal beams for support. They are encased in concrete. Metallic has been here. Is that dynamite? Now, as we can see, this still has the concrete floor, but there is chunks of it being eroded away. But this doesn't see the amount of water or daily use like the one next to us over here does. Looks like the further we get in, the better shape it is. These are pretty well intact. There's some major water leakage here. I spotted this little window here of sorts. Let me turn this off, it's too bright. And I hear water coming through. That's because it's connecting to the other side. Here's looking back where we started. Now, to give you some size perspective, I would say this is, to the beams right here, I would say about 8 feet. To the very top, about 10 feet or so. Width, I would say, probably 20 feet. by far, it's definitely big enough to drive a vehicle through here, a car or a small pickup truck. Oh, somebody wrote my name. There's some loose material right there. Now, I didn't realize it, but there actually is a whole nother culvert, but there's water flowing through both of them. Well, this is actually some pretty deep water right here. This is, looks like maybe over 4 or 5 feet deep. I'll try to get you a shot over there. You know what, this may make for a great swimming hole. It goes down pretty deep. I bet you I could jump in there and maybe not even hit the bottom. That is really, really deep. And that's because of all the force the water is just eroding it away. But I didn't realize that there was a whole nother culvert. There's actually some railings on that one too, on both sides of it. Gotta watch your footing here too, because there's some little pockets. And on the outside, the exterior wall is a combination of brickwork and concrete. Oh, there's one of the railings right there. I don't see a date though. I would probably assume early 1900s. Good spot as any.
Yeah.
All right, guys, hold your breath. You're gonna get wet. Well, after reviewing that footage, I confirmed it. I will be back here in the summer to do some snorkeling and some more investigating under the water. That is crystal clear water and looks really neat. And if I'm getting wet, then we'll continue further down. So summertime, we will return. We have returned. Made it without getting wet. And you know what? I may have just found a date. There's a date. All right, so looks like 1911. I'll take a still photo of that too, but yeah, right there it is stamped, 1911. So I said early 1900s, I was pretty close. I also want to point out too, this big metal beam here that is for debris. So when things like this, boulders, sticks, logs, anything gets washed down here, if it was to hit that, it wouldn't damage the concrete and make it structurally unsound. So it's a protective barrier, which you see common in many bridges that are in the water with any type of support or pillar or anything like that that's going through the water. They always have this type of steel plate to protect it. But it looks like Alan is busting his butt trying to get up. So I guess I'll follow suit and I'll see you topside. As I'm trying to find myself an easier route to climb up to the top, I decided to check out this pipe area, and you can see there's some cinder blocks here, some metal chunks, I guess you want to call it, and right here. So here's the pipe going across. Was probably for pumping water to something for some reason. There's another retaining wall there made out of cinder block. So this doesn't, it looks like it goes down. So probably connected to something up there, but it is in correlation to the culvert. I want to bring you up to speed. We are now on the other side of the second culvert that we didn't walk through. So where we ended was over there through the woods. This is the other end of the second culvert, and we're trying to follow, see if it leads to something else. Now along the way though, there's more ruins. Is that a pipe? And there's some type of foundation here. But we are going to walk a bit further, see if we discover anything else, and if so, I'll bring it back and show it to you. Looking through here, there is some huge timbers that are charred. It appears it may have been a structure that was burned. But those are like massive support beams. Yeah, they're all blackened and charred, so I'm wondering if they burned on the spot here, and that's what's left of the building, or if they were dumped there. It's tough to say. That wasn't fun. That was pretty thick and nasty. Ah, okay. So it doesn't go underground. It just keeps going. There's a manhole here. And you can see where the wall over there collapsed. I'm going to try to get down closer, give you a better look at it. So one manhole cover and another one. I wonder if they open up to like underground sewers, like where the Ninja Turtles hang out. Oh man. I almost slid off there. So the reason we came down here is Alan pointed out, and it looked convincing to me. We were through that culvert to the other one where I stuck you guys underwater. When we were looking this way, we saw this wall here, and it looked like, I think because of this, it looked like it curved towards this direction, like it would have been another culvert. But we couldn't tell for sure without coming over here, but it does just continue like a normal river. But there is a hand-stacked retaining wall there along both sides. That one's the larger of the two, but has collapsed. And the unique thing is that there is this little wall here on the right-hand side, which does connect to another manhole up there. So I believe there's probably a pipe in there. This probably connects to a pipe that connects to that manhole. So for some reason they would have had a connection to the water source for pumping or draining or anything else. But we did confirm though it doesn't go any further as far as culverts go, but that's okay. We at least got to see another part of the land and to see what the other side does look like. In the midst of all that excitement, I forgot to do an outro, so here's my outro. As you saw, returning to that culvert was a lot of fun, and we got to see what's at the other end, which turned out to be a whole nother culvert. More importantly though, I found out that there's a great swimming hole there that goes pretty deep with some crystal clear water. Now the selfie pole I had you guys on goes to about 8 feet in length, and although I had you in there at an angle, I didn't touch bottom, so I'm guessing it's at least 4 or 5 feet deep. Probably even deeper closer to the rapids. So in the summertime, I plan on returning with my Pi King underwater metal detector to see what kind of treasures we do find. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you thought of this adventure. If you happen to be new to the channel, check out my playlist to see what type of content I do offer. And if you like what you see, then consider subscribing. With that being said, thank you so much for joining me today and for watching. And like always, I'll see you in the next video.